All right, let's cut to the chase. Are you a woman over 40? And are you utterly sick and tired of living your life based on what other people think? The unsolicited advice, the subtle judgments, that crushing weight of expectation. What if I told you Mel Robbins has a powerful, almost shockingly simple method to finally break free and live completely guilt-free? If you're ready to reclaim your life, your peace, and your power, then you need to hear this, because freedom, it's closer than you think.
Mind's Myth.
For us, women navigating life, especially single life, past 40, it often feels like we're walking around with a giant invisible scorecard that everyone else is filling out, right? Your family, your friends, sometimes the well-meaning ones are the worst. Society at large, everyone seems to have an opinion on your choices, your lifestyle, your relationship status, your career, even what you had for breakfast, and the guilt. Oh, the guilt. Guilt for not being married or for being divorced. Guilt for not having kids or for how you're raising them if you do. Guilt for prioritizing your career or for not being ambitious enough. Guilt for wanting more or for being content with less. It's exhausting. As Mel Robbins puts it, you are not responsible for other people's feelings. But how many of us truly live by that? How many decisions have you made, big or small, not because you wanted to, but to avoid disapproval, to keep the peace, or to fit into some mold that never really felt like you? Enter Mel Robbins. She's the master of cutting through the BS and getting to the heart of what holds us back. And when it comes to the opinions of others, she has a game-changing concept, the let them theory. It sounds simple, maybe even a bit dismissive at first, but when you truly grasp it, it's like being handed the keys to your own emotional prison cell. This isn't just about ignoring people, it's about a profound shift in where you place your energy and your worth. So what is the let them theory? In Mel's words, it's this: when someone is doing something that bothers you, or has an opinion about you that you don't like, or is creating drama, you just say to yourself, let them. Let them misunderstand you. Let them judge you. Let them talk about you. Let them have their opinions. Let them be wrong about you. Let them underestimate you. You cannot control what other people think, say, or do. Trying to, that's where the anxiety, the frustration, and the guilt fester. Mel emphasizes that the need to control things is born out of fear, and the fear of judgment is a big one. The let them theory is about redirecting your precious energy. Instead of wasting it trying to manage other people's perceptions or reactions, an impossible task, you focus that energy on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your boundaries, and your own happiness. It's about detaching with love, or sometimes just detaching, period. It's about realizing that their opinion of you is actually none of your business. How liberating does that sound? Why is this so profoundly critical for us as women over 40? Because by this stage, we've likely accumulated a lifetime of these external voices. We've internalized so many shoulds and shouldn'ts. We've been conditioned to be people pleasers, to be accommodating, to put others first, often to our own detriment. The let them theory isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming self-full. It's about recognizing that your peace of mind is paramount. Think about it. How many opportunities have you missed? How many times have you dimmed your own light because you were worried about what they would say? That career change, that solo trip, that bold fashion choice, that decision to stay single and happy, or to pursue a non-traditional relationship. The fear of judgment can be a cage. Mel Robbins is essentially handing us the key and saying, you don't have to stay in there anymore. Let's get specific. Often, the hardest opinions to let be come from those closest to us. Our families, our oldest friends. Their words carry weight. Their disappointment can feel like a physical blow. Maybe your mom still asks when you're going to settle down. Maybe your friends don't understand your new passion project. Mel would say, let them. You can love them, you can respect them, but you don't have to adopt their anxieties or their vision for your life as your own. This is where setting boundaries, another key Mel Robbins principle, ties in. You can say, Mom, I love you, but my relationship status isn't up for discussion. Or, friend, I appreciate your concern, but this is my path. Using the let them theory here, means understanding that their reactions are about them, their fears, their experiences, their beliefs, not a true reflection of your worth or your choices. It's about giving yourself permission to disappoint people, if it means being true to yourself. That's a tough pill, but a necessary one for guilt-free living. Can you think of one opinion from a loved one that you're ready to let be? And then there's the bigger societal pressure, the media, the cultural narratives that still in 2025 can make a single woman over 40 feel like an anomaly, or worse, a failure. The constant bombardment of images of perfect couples, perfect families, it can wear you down. You might feel the need to justify your choices, to prove you're happy, to overcompensate. Mel's approach says, let them. Let society have its outdated narratives. You don't have to participate. You don't have to internalize those messages. Your life is not a statement to be approved by a committee. It's your masterpiece to be lived. When you see those articles, those shows, those comments that trigger that feeling of less than, practice it. Let them think that. It has nothing to do with me. This is about actively curating your mental space. As Mel says, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it, and you can choose to react by not letting it in. One of the biggest sources of guilt for women especially is the act of prioritizing ourselves, our needs, our desires, our dreams. We're often taught that it's selfish. If you're a single woman over 40, maybe you feel guilty for investing in yourself instead of a partner, or for taking that solo vacation, or for saying no to demands on your time because you just need to recharge. This is where the let them theory becomes an act of radical self-care. Let them think you're selfish for taking that art class. Let them think you're indulgent for booking that spa day. Let them be uncomfortable when you set a boundary around your time. Your well-being is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And living guilt-free means giving yourself permission to meet your own needs unapologetically. Mel often highlights the importance of self-compassion. How much more compassionate could you be to yourself if you weren't constantly battling the guilt imposed by others or your own internalized expectations? Now, like any powerful tool, the let them theory takes practice. It's not a one-and-done magic spell. Your brain has been wired for years, maybe decades, to care deeply about what others think. It's a survival mechanism to an extent. So when you first start consciously practicing let them, it might feel unnatural, even a bit scary. You might feel a pang of that old guilt or anxiety. But here's the beauty of it, as Mel would attest. Every time you successfully let them, every time you choose your peace over their approval, you strengthen that muscle of emotional independence. You build resilience. The reward, it's not just peace of mind. It's a profound sense of liberation. It's the energy you get back. It's the clarity to hear your own inner voice. It's the courage to build a life that is authentically, joyfully, and unapologetically yours. Imagine that. What would you do with all that reclaimed energy and freedom? So we understand let them intellectually. Let them think what they want. Let them say what they want. It's about detachment. But what's the active ingredient here? What's the piece that transforms this from a passive deflection into an empowering act of self-creation, especially for us at this stage of life, where we're not just starting out, but often re-evaluating and redesigning? It's not just about pushing away the negative, it's about what you turn towards when you do. Mel's work is never just about stopping something, it's about starting something else. When you truly let them, you create a vacuum, and what you choose to fill that vacuum with, that's where the real magic, the most profound secret to living guilt-free and powerfully, actually lies. Here's the deepest truth, the core of this liberation. The let them theory isn't just about letting them be. It's fundamentally about giving yourself permission to fully be. When you stop trying to control or react to their opinions, you are no longer defining yourself in relation to them. You are freeing up also that mental and emotional real estate to define yourself, for yourself. The most important part of let them is the unspoken second half, so that I can focus on what I want, what I need, who I am, and who I am becoming. This is the ultimate act of self-loyalty. For women over 40, who may have spent years contorting themselves to fit others' expectations. This is revolutionary. It's saying, my energy, my focus, my validation now comes from within. It's not about becoming an island. It's about becoming your own anchor. When their opinions no longer have the power to sway you, you become incredibly stable, incredibly clear, and incredibly free to pursue your own joy, guilt-free. As Mel Robbins powerfully states, you need to hear this loud and clear. No one is coming. It is up to you. And let them is how you clear the path to step up for yourself. So I challenge you, today, just for today, identify one opinion, one judgment, one expectation, either from someone else or from your own inner critic that's been weighing you down, and consciously practice saying, let them. And then, more importantly, ask yourself, now that I'm letting that go, what do I want to focus on? How do I want to feel? What is one small step I can take towards my own peace or joy right now? Share in the comments if you're comfortable. What's the one thing you're choosing to let them on today so you can show up for yourself? Let's inspire each other to live with this newfound freedom. Living guilt-free after 40 isn't a fantasy. It's a choice, a practice, a skill you can build starting right now with this simple but profound shift in perspective from Mel Robbins. You don't need anyone's permission to live a life that lights you up from the inside out. The only approval you ever truly need is your own. So go ahead, let them, and then more importantly, let yourself shine. Your most authentic, joyful, guilt-free chapter is waiting to be written by you.